We're coming back. And we are live on Facebook. Welcome everybody to another Where in the World Is ... a W5 story session. And you know what? I'm so enjoying getting to know people, and some people I've already known, but I'm getting to know them a little deeper because I really miss networking. And this all came to be when you are networking in person, and you know, when you read somebody's name and you go, hey, who are you? What do you do? Where do you do it? When did you decide this is what you wanted to do, and what's your why? And that normally takes about 2 minutes to 3 minutes to build relationship in person. But we get an opportunity to spend a little bit more time building connection and building our online relationships as well. So without further ado, because we do like to keep these to 10 minutes, so that way we get a little taste of who the person is. So we're able to reach out afterwards and spend much more time with them using Zoom or when we get together in person. So without further ado, who are you?
Hi, Janet. Thank you for inviting me here. Who am I? Well, initially I'm Denise Belisle, but I'm not just my name. What I am is who I am. I am a very caring, loving, good listener person. I really like to connect with people and know them and understand their love, understand their joy, understand their fear, understand their struggle. I'm a person that is a good listener. I'm a good friend, and I'm a sister. I'm not a mother. Well, I'm a mother of 2 cats. I think they're both sleeping behind me right there.
Yes, right. So you have 4 babies?
Yes, I have the two 4-legged babies. They're 14 years old. And so that's a lot of who I am. I like having fun. So I'm a funny person, and I like to laugh, and I'm emotional. I cry at commercial when there's like little puppies in there in movies. And I'm just, that's what I am. That's who I am.
Okay, so in thinking of some of those, I like to call them who hats, almost like Dr. Seuss. Yeah. So in your who hats, what are some of the things that you do, say, as a funny person and as in your business? And I don't think we got what your who hat is in business. So if we can go a little deeper in that.
Yeah, well, one of my who hat business is I'm a serenity expert and wellness coach. And how I like to have fun is, well, I like hanging out with friends and laughing. And it was my birthday yesterday, and I had thank you, and I had a little party at my place with less than 10 people. And that was pre blockage of the city. And then we played cards and we laughed, and I was in tears at some point, and we just hang out and share a great meal. And so I like just laughing and having fun. And I have, sometimes people say I might have a twisted sense of humor, but sometimes they're good. You just have to hit it with the right person, because some people just don't get it, but that's okay. And who I am with my business, it's
as a coach. What are some of the things you do as a coach?
Yeah, as a serenity expert, I empower professional women to become more serene and peaceful in their life. I feel that women are wearing, talking about the who hats, women are wearing a lot of who hats. They have like an assortment of hats. They have the taxi hat, they have the soccer mom hats, they have the entrepreneur hat, they have the wife's hat, they have the cleaner's hat and the glove, and they have, like, name it. I mean, as much as now men and women mostly live at home and work at home because of COVID, a lot of them are cohabitating again, as opposed to all going to their own places, meeting a little bit. But I feel that it's still the woman that is really in charge of the house, and make sure the kids are doing their homework and are online and or going to school. And it's a lot of hats. So I like to empower women really to find out their peace and to find their center. And even through that chaos, we're still able to have some peace and take care of ourselves. So that's one of my taking care of, women and helping them
That's beautiful. So where do you do your coaching?
Well, I'm just about. I had stopped. I had to admit I had stopped for a while because of different health conflict, and I had my own little challenge. And but now, since the last 8 months, and I felt that I felt called to come back, and I'm just launching a new like I have a master class coming up at the in a couple of weeks, and I have 3 sessions that are available for different time zones because I know women are busy and they're not always available at 4 o'clock on that day or 7 that day. So I have 3 different time during the day at different days, and I'm gonna have a coaching program that's gonna do 3 months, and once a week we meet and then we consult and we talk, and I have 6 modules that we go through, and then every 2 weeks we have a new module, and then every other week I'm going to do some love seat. You know how sometimes they say hot seat, so you're like, oh, you're being
Yes.
coached and all that, but I don't see it that way. I feel like when I'm doing one-on-one with people, I'm there to give them love and to show them that they're okay regardless of the situation where they are. So we're going to have some love seats so people will be able to be coached one-on-one and during a group, and everybody that's in the group benefits from those, because sometimes we don't really want to share about our struggle and our problem, but when we hear somebody else talk about it, it helps us, and I say that and I get emotional because I feel that it's so powerful when you do that, helping someone one-on-one, and everybody can be there and contribute to the energy. It's almost like a mastermind in some ways, right? All the minds get together and we're able to support the person that's being on the love seat.
Oh, that's amazing. So, Denise, when did you decide this is what you wanted to do? I'm a big believer in you have to know your when, because it ultimately leads to your why. So when did you decide this is what you wanted to wear this who hat?
Well, I've been involved in some way or another in the health industry, or the health, not so much industry, but the health mentality for years. And like I've done meditation for the last over 30 years. I was doing meditation and researching. I'm not a dietitian, but researching about the good food to eat and why is good, doing some coaching about functional medicine to learn what is the cause of the problem we have in our life, like the health problem. Like if somebody has cancer, and unfortunately a lot of time the doctor will say, well, if you ask why do I have cancer, they'll say, well, 1 of 5 women or 1 of 3 women have cancer, so you're just the unlucky one. But that's not good enough for me. There's a reason why we develop those illness and all that. So and then I took courses to learn how to go deeper in the bodies and find out in the mind, where are these things come from. So when have I decided to do that? It was years ago. I feel that it's just my calling. That's something that I'm really called to do. And now I'm so happy that I'm really getting back into it. It really fill me. It empower me I feel so much more positive, doing that and being excited about really wanting to help women and find out, how they can be more peaceful and serene in their life, for sure.
I think you just wrapped up what your why was as well.
Oh my God, I think I did.
Awesome. That's what I often say when I'm, I'm coaching people or talking to people about your W5 story is you got to know those when moments, because there's a defining moment that you need to bring other people in with you. That's when you're feeling that, it's like, oh, you know what? I want everybody to have this good feeling when moment, or that's how we can share with each other. It's much like when I figured out how to do Zoom through Facebook to connect people. And so it goes back to what I love to do. So I'd like to
really to go back to the when, now that you mentioned that, there was a deciding moment, because at some point I was like, I've done body work. The table's still there mostly for the cats, but I was doing that for years. And at the same time I was working, I was doing that part-time, and I was working for a friend of mine. And then I was trying to burn the candle with both hands, you know, because I still want to keep this up, and working on my health and working on, I mean, my health mindset, and then working for that person full time. And I was pulling the candle in both hands, right? I was just burning myself, trying to accomplish too much. And at some point I just, like, I came back from work and I had a fight with, happened to be that person I was working with my boyfriend. So I had kind of a fight with him, and I was like, I just can't do this anymore, you know, like it's too much. And I sat on the couch and I had my Haagen-Dazs and the spoon, and I was eating the ice cream and crying at the same time. And I said, I just can't do this anymore, you know, like it's too much. I have to find a ways. And then there's a little voice that came back in my mind from a lady I've met a while before, and she was saying, you know, you got to put yourself first. You got to, if you want to go work out, don't do it when it's convenient. Do it first thing in the morning. Do it, you know, and making it in your schedule. Take care of yourself. And all that conversation I had with her came back. And then at that point, I was like, okay, dry your tears and, you know, be a big girl, and you can do it. You know, you can take care of yourself. And after that, coincidentally, I had, you know, there's no coincidence in life. I had seen an ad online or something like that about coaching. And it was health coaching. And then I said, I'm going to take that webinar. So it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours webinar that I sat in. And then, of course, they have your phone number and your emails when you do that. So about 15 minutes after the webinar, I get a phone call from one of the person in that training course, coaching course. And they say, hi. Then, of course, they asked me a bunch of questions. And they said, do you realize that, I don't know how long that was ago, like a few years back, you had attend one of our webinar and you've done nothing? And then I was like, no, I don't really recall. And so and then of course he coached me into understanding that if I was interested a few years back and I've done anything, why would I do the same thing now? And it made a lot of sense. And that's when I've decided to take on the course, because I really felt that it was something that has been itching me into wanting to help people, wanting to coach people, to help them go through all the ups and downs that I've been going through. My dad died when I was 24, and it was quite a traumatic experience. And then it was, you know, like just the path that I lived through, and taking all these meditation courses and self-awareness courses, and helping me through life and going to these hurdles. And now I feel that, you know, with all these years of experience that I went through my own life experience and the coaching that I took and all that. And of course, the clients that I had until I've stepped back a little bit, but it was just all like, I feel that it's my calling. Like I could do that until I die, really, because it's not really working. It's just something I like to do. I can see myself at 85 years old, sitting on my rocking chair on the phone and talking to my clients, you know, and helping them out.
That's beautiful. So we're going to leave it at there. Thank you so much for sharing your W5 story of who you are, what you do, where you do it, when you decided, and ultimately your why. So there we go. I am so excited. I knew Denise before, but I didn't know the complete story. And I'm sure every single day or time we get together again via Zoom or otherwise, I'll be learning a little bit more to build our relationship. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I've just felt like I've added another who to my blank set of encyclopedias. So enjoy your day, everybody. And tune in next Monday for another Where in the World Is, a W5 story section with somebody else that I'm building relationship based on connection, collaboration, or in my community. Thank you, everybody.